Hello everybody, welcome to Apex Racing TV. It's the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. We've come to the Okayama circuit in Japan. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Marco Barbanera. Buonasera, Marco. We're here at Okayama. We were here for the BSR MX-5s. Proved a very good track for them. Do we think it's going to be any easier or harder for the overtaking to take place around here?
Good evening, everybody. Hello, thank you, Andrew. And well, you know, if be in the BSRTC never back down when they want to make the pass. They find a way to make that pass happen. So I'm expecting some very good hard racing. The guys will try to defend as hard as possible, but also the guys trying to make the move will try to make the move happen as quickly as possible. And you know, everybody's looking forward to this first race, especially the big guns, because they know this is the only race where they will probably start at the front, so the good chance of making those important points towards the showdown later in the season. So, of course, we see now the timings on the left side of your screen. Ash Sutton is in pole position, and Baker and Foggy close behind. We are going to expect the usual close quarter battles, not only in the qualifying session, but also, Andrew, I think, during the 3 races.
Yeah, 3 rounds tonight, of course. It's one thing that strikes me by looking at that timing tower is that just how close everybody is, from Sutton in first to 20th place Diogo Melro. It's just 0.7 of a second. And then even going back down the field from Melro down to Mark Johnston in 34th place is that's just another 0.6 of a second. So it's going to be very close. We've seen a crashed car on the side of the road. I think it might have been I think it was either Blackhall or I think it might have been Blackhall. Was it Marco? I didn't see.
I think he is, yeah. I think he is. Car number 11 there. We know a couple of minutes left, but if these drivers are able to get to the start-finish line before the time is up, they will have, I think, time to get one more lap in. So everybody's trying to time their final run in this way, so they don't waste their final lap. And it looks like Sutton is going to be on pole. By the way, I think we have to spend a couple of words for Ashley Sutton, because if I'm not mistaken, he had a wildcard entry in the TCR UK this past weekend, and he completely smashed the competition, I think, by winning both races and scoring a pole position, if I'm not mistaken.
It's crazy how he can just get, do that, pick up a new car. It was a Honda, I believe, as opposed to a Subaru, and go and perform so well. And congratulations to him. His rise continues, and with just a minute left, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to knock him off of pole position. Dave Baker, I think, might not be able to do it. I think he's gone into the pits. Nicole Foggy and Ross Balfour are probably the best place to do that. Balfour, car 110, the Northern Lights GTM Mega car with the Northern Irish flag, of course, adorning it. That seems a bit pedestrian through there. I wonder if he's actually yeah, that's not a fast lap at all. So I think he's given up on pole position. Just a quick look at the championship standings after 57 races. Stephen Baxter leads the way by 105 points over Dave Baker, with Nico Foggy in 3rd, Wojciech Swidujic 4th, Pete Harrod 5th, Ross McFarlane 6th, Jamie Rushworth in 7th, Kip Stevens in 8th, Mark Woodhouse 9th and 10th for Jack Sedgwick. In the AM category, it's Kip Stevens who leads the way, with Mark Woodhouse in 2nd, Chris Wood in 3rd, Rusty Laidler 4th, Magic Sakovic in 5th, Michael Blake 6th, Dan Brown 7th, Adam Hadfield 8th, Adam McNally in 9th, and Paul Smith in 10th. And then in the Teams Championship, CQR lead the way by 114 points. Sorry, 1,100 and... I can't read. 1,400... We'll get that. Hold on, we'll start again. 1,143 is their advantage, and it's about the same down to Apex Racing in 3rd. Team Madden leading Pro-Am team, and they are 2,573 points away from the championship lead. So yeah, Marco, that was easy for me to say anyway.
I don't think I would have done any better. But yeah, the checkered flag is in the air. Drivers getting their final timed laps in. We see, for example, the defending champion Wojciech Sviridovich through the final corner here, which is called last corner, by the way.
That's a really,
Explosional.
really creative name.
Yeah. And the first corner is called first corner, by the way.
Oh dear.
Wojciech on the start-finish line, he doesn't improve, still P5. And I think we just have a couple of drivers left on the track, and then we will be able to give you the final qualifying results. We see Kip Stevens on the track as well. He's sitting in the top 20 at the moment, and I don't think he had to make a pass during this qualifying attempt, so I don't think he's going to improve on his time. So it's looking like a P20 start for him.
I think it's Chris Wood, is it? It's Tristan Bottas, the new driver for Team Mad. He was at Boosted Motorsports. He's made the move. It was transfer deadline day for the Premier League today, so he's made that deadline day switch, it seems, to Team Mad. And I wonder if Dave Crozier would have been sat in the car park with his car window rolled down, answering questions about Tristan Bottas. But I think Bottas in the pits, 32nd place. That's a pretty respectable one out of 43. It's not too bad at all, really. We've got some drivers who didn't take part in qualifying: Craig Williams, Alex Everett, Colin Cunniff, and Alex Simpson as well. So those guys have been sent to the naughty corner, which is known as the back two rows, Marco. And Ash Sutton will be very, very happy indeed with getting onto pole position.
Absolutely. And here on the screen for you, here is the starting grid for this first race.
Yeah, there it is. Sutton, then Baker, Foggy, Balfour, Wojciech Sviridovich, McFarlane, Glatzel, Cedric, Baxter, and Harrod. That's the top 10. And looking in there, it's a nice mixture of NLR, CQR, and Apex Racing. They pretty much monopolise those top 10 positions. Then you look at McIntyre, Rushworth, Chris Wood, Stuart McFadden, Adam McNally, Brian Holmes, Michael Hall, Dan Brown, Pete Newman, and Kip Stevens. That's the top 20. And then you look down a little bit further down the field. One thing that does strike me actually is Mark Woodhouse, the M category leader, isn't here. Got a new team on the grid as well, Origin Front Row Racing, with Dan Brewer and Jeroen Kweekel. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. Paul Smith makes his return in 29th place. He'll be looking to fare better than he did in the World GT Championship. We mentioned Tristan Bottas, also in 32nd place. And then at the very back, actually, is Colin Cunniff in 43rd place. So he's the one with the most to do. And most of those guys, Marco, will be just hoping to survive turn one.
Yeah, and hoping to get a good reverse later in the evening for race 2. We're almost ready, I think. All the cars are lined up on the grid, and it's just a matter of seconds now for the start of race 1.
Yeah, not long to go at all here. It's quite a short run to turn 1, actually. The start-finish line is quite a way down the main straight here at Okayama. And as we said, they're going to be heading into the aforementioned first corner, literally. Here we go. The red lights are beginning to come on. And the green light is on here at Okayama. Good start by Baker. Oh, there's a crash at the back. It's Bottas. And it's I'm not sure who else that was. Tristan Bottas was definitely involved in that. But Sutton leads the way from Baker, Foggy and Balfour, and Wojciech Sviridovich. That's as it was. And there's some squealing of tyres as everyone squeezes through the this very narrow sector on towards the hairpin. Up the inside for car 38. That's Chris Wood on Jack McIntyre. Looking down the field, we can see everybody just filing through. Got a horrible feeling, actually, Marco, that Tristan Bottas might have got into it with one of his teammates.
Well, it could have been a big crash. Luckily, sadly for the guys, they went out, but luckily they went on the left side and not on the inside where all the cars were coming. Basically, they went out of the way. But yeah, I think Bottas' car hitting the left side wall with the front, and that's never good. You see
Oh,
somebody didn't start.
Somebody got a very slow getaway, and it was actually Adam Hadfield who Tristan Bottas actually looked like he kind of turned across. Not sure who the other car was. This is on board with Bottas. You see, he just tries to get through the gap, gets tagged slightly from behind, and then that's sandwiched against the wall, and that is a bit of an ignominious start to his career with Team Mad. The other Team Mad car that was involved was Paul Smith, we regret to inform you, so it's a bit of a shame for them. It was just unlucky. Not a lot they could do. I'm interested I think it might have been your own Queekel that didn't get away off the line marker. It looked like the Origin front row racing car.
That's something you see rarely, especially in a great championship like BSRTC, because cars on iRacing cannot be you cannot stall on the grid, no. So sometimes it happens. You see it happens in the bottom splits of the skip barber that people forget about the start line. So I'm keen to think about an hardware problem there, as we see a battle side by side here between Foggy and I think that's David Baker for second position, with other cars in the back, all very close, as Ash Sutton is getting a small but interesting lead over the rest of the field. You see 0.5 of a second.
I tell you what, the bottom split of the skip barber, that's a scary thought for anybody, I think.
I'm always there, so...
That's why. That must be why. Sutton leads the way then. He's not scared at all of anybody, we know that. Dave Baker in second place. Those two are teammates, so you don't expect there's going to be too much door banging between them. Foggy in third. Good performance from him in qualifying third in the championship. Oscar Balfour's there in fourth. Fifth is Wojciech Svidovic, three-time champion, and then Sven Glatzel in sixth. See, there's more V-Racer cars out there now. Foggy has adorned, that livery adorns his GT Mega Racing Northern Lights racing car. In fact, it might not be GT Mega anymore, is it? Is it just NLR V-Racer? I don't know. I imagine so. On the points, it still says the old team name, but we'll endeavour to find that out for you as the meeting goes on. If you know on the YouTube chat, then just chip in. But yeah, nice new blue liveries. Similar blue to the Apex Racing ones, mysteriously, Marco. So.
Well, they don't make our job very easy with all these cars. As we see once again Foggy trying at the hairpin for the outside. Now we will have the preferred line for the double left-hander, but it's a very, very tricky corner going down the hill. It's so easy to misjudge your braking there, but it looks like Foggy has a little bit of a better exit there. He will have another time the line here on the inside at the other hairpin.
Then it's going to switch round.
Yeah, but now he is on the outside, as we see some contact there in the car's back. Balfour's with Glatzel, and in the end it's all the same because Baker is still in front.
It's that second hairpin, isn't it? Second right-hand hairpin that really is the one that you don't want to be on the outside of, because it just doesn't allow you the grip that you need in order to carry the speed through it. Brian Holmes, you can see him going into the gravel in the background. Ash Sutton with his personal best lap of the race. Also likewise for Ross McFarlane on lap 3. Championship leader Stephen Baxter is in 12th, with Jack McIntyre just behind him, and Chris Wood. And look at the field, you can see that there really isn't much field spread at all. We have lost a couple of drivers, and literally it's Paul Smith and Tristan Bottas. Colin Cunliffe didn't take the start, it looks like. Rob Graham and your own Queekel having some good battles out there as well. That's for pretty much the very back of the field, 37th and 38th places. But you can see how close it is.
You know, these are some of the best team racers in the world, as we see, like different difficult times there for Graham, Blackwell, Kewell, and also the guys in front of him. But let's be honest, Andrew, we all began our careers in this track. Not with this car, with the Mazda, but everybody knows this track, I think. In a
slightly different version, to be fair, but most of oh, well, that's a mess. I don't know what that was, but it's ended up with Jake Blackwell on the receiving end. But yeah, most of the short circuit, which is used for the rookie leagues, makes up the first and the last sector of the lap.
You know, so, since I do the MX5 Tuesdays, I still do the occasional global MX5 fixed race in the rookie series, and now they use the complete circuit as well. So
Oh, do they? All right.
they do 1 week there and 1 week in the short track in the 12. Basically, do all the different tracks, and once per 12 weeks they go to the short track, and once they go to the longer one. So, see,
Oh, there you go. Somebody was well off there into the gravel. I'm not sure who that was, to be honest. It was a mostly white car. I must admit I didn't recognise the car. I'm just looking at it.
I have to say that Ash Sutton was 0.6 seconds away from Baker a few laps ago, but now it's 0.3 of a second. So I think that it's not easy to get a run, to run away from the pack in this track.
Not really. It's hard to get your moves done. It's hard to get your moves done, definitely. Yeah. And it's also, like you say, there's just enough slipstream, and the lap times are just close enough that, like you say, people can't really get a massive breakaway. I think we might have found the culprit of going into the gravel on the last corner. I think it's Jesper Drelica. Him and Christian Rose are having a great fight here for 22nd place.
You can use that extra tarmac there, as we see.
Did you see that in the background? It was, I think it was Mark Johnston and possibly Dan Brewer having a bit of a set to there. Oh, and Brewer's had one with Brian Holmes.
Also, Alex Simpson, I think, is involved in there. Some damage to the right front of his car.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's Alex Simpson car 2, isn't it? Not Brian Holmes. Brian Holmes is no then. Brian Holmes is car 12, not car 2. There we go.
We have some 3 wide action on the front stretch. Now back to 2 wide. Also, you see, I was noticing in the beginning of the race that I don't think this is usual for this series, but they have opted to have to not have a clean track. So basically, off the line, there's all sorts of marble and debris and dirt stuff. So as soon as you move outside of the racing line, you kick up all the dust and you have so little grip.
So I can't. I'll be honest with you, it's something I never really pay that much attention to in terms of, because I think it's been so long they've had the same settings. So I'm not sure as to whether they've always reset the track after qualifying, but then they don't reset it for the rest of the meeting. I don't know, because I know it gets worse as the meeting goes on. But I'm not sure whether they've absolutely cleaned it, have they?
I was looking for the settings for this first race, and they had track reset after every session, so 0% practice. Oh, look at that, 0% qualifying, 0% race, and also marbles and other stuff was not clear. So you see, basically on the outside of the racing line, the track is like looking light brown with all the dirt, and as soon as you go outside, you get all those debris, and it's so difficult to get a good traction out there.
Good battle here between Svidovic and Glatzel. And Svidovic had to just cut in line just ahead of the German in the Northern Lights racing car. And Baker and Balfour are side by side as well. See that? Baker on the inside, Balfour on the outside. Baker with the black and orange CQR car with the yellow trim, and Balfour in the purple and white GT Omega Racing. And then you see the car directly in front of us, the blue and white and black Apex Racing car of Wojciech Svidovic, and he might go for the inside here, Marco. He might be able to get at least one of these two here. Maybe none of them actually in the end.
2 by 2, like a NASCAR race through the hairpin.
No, that's the 4-car tango, I think, through there. But it didn't really make them that much faster, let's be honest. As Baker, Svidovic continues to work the outside line on Sven Glatzel. But it's hard to break late enough to make this count, although he does have the inside, the high ground for this next hairpin, and this is the one, like I said, look at how much grip they lose. Okay, there was a tiny bit of contact there, but Glatzel was never going to hold that outside line fully. But he had to try and stick with it. Couldn't do on this occasion. Slight nudge, as we say, but carrying on. 20-minute race this, Marco, the first one, and so there's a tiny bit of uncertainty as to how many laps there is, but I think it's not going to bother Sutton at the minute with When I say that, Foggy is really caught up to him. Half a second is the gap.
Yeah, all this battling basically let Foggy get a nice gap on P3. It's almost 1 second. So basically we have Sutton and Foggy in a little runaway, and then is Balfour Baker on the others 1 second back. So if Foggy can keep up with Sutton, he may try for an attack later in the race. We are in minute 11 of 20, so a little way past the halfway mark of this first race, and you see, but there's not much in it, even between P2 and P3. So just one small mistake is the fact that these drivers behind are fighting so hard, and now I think they learn their lesson, because now everybody is single file as they go through Revolver Corner. Amazing name for a corner.
That's good. That's better than first corner.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say we can rank that one a little higher. Alex Simpson's the biggest mover in the field, 13 positions from where he started, in 27th place. Mark Johnston is in 23rd, he's up 11 places. Scott Malcolm's gained 10 places in the Automate Knock Hill. And looking at Alex here, Marco, he's right behind Michael Blake. And Blake's going to have a look up the inside of the Automate car. And, well, that is Scott Malcolm, actually. And Alex now trying to just use Scott Malcolm a bit like the fullback in American football, just let him punch that hole and follow it through. But if Alex gets a good run out of here, might be able to challenge one or both of them into the braking area for turn one. But again, it's difficult because Blake's on the outside and there's nowhere really for Alex to go. And in fact, he might be under pressure from the car behind, which is William Daniels in the V-Racer car.
Very tight
great
quarter
battle, actually,
here.
this.
Yeah, amazing tight quarter battle, but you know, the smallest mistake can cause a problem. So these drivers are really putting it on the line. Of course, they want to get positions and get maybe a good reverse. But you are, I think, only thinking about points now and trying to make as much positions as possible. Good run for Alex, but you see once again there's Blake blocking on the inside.
Well, this is crazy though, isn't it? How I think this might be something that you might have had your eyes open to when you started doing the BSRTC. It's just how good, you know, how good the battles are all the way through the field. It doesn't matter whether you're battling for 26th place like these guys, 25th place, or whether you're battling at the lead like Nicole Foggy and Ash Sutton. It's still just as competitive and just as close.
Absolutely, absolutely, and this is what makes it, I think, the toughest league in all of iRacing, because there's no moment to breathe. Basically, you are always in a battle, be it for P1 or for P30, always battling, always nose to tail with another car, and it's just amazing, and always an honor for me to be in the commentary booth for the BSRTC Pro Series.
I mean, I've driven in this league a few times, and it really is not easy. You know, I think a few years ago, I think I would have said I'd be solid top 20 every time. Now I don't think there'd be any chance, if I'm honest, of getting near the top 20 in one of these races. I hope to do a meeting or two later on in the season, but yeah, it's I think it's going to be a tall order looking at this here and seeing the guys that are down. I mean, someone like Maciej Sakovic is down in 31st place, and I was in a championship with Maciej Sakovic that he won. So it's crazy just how just how strong the field is all the way down to the bottom. But now we can see that Balfour and Baker are now in a battle for 3rd and 4th, and that is going to be super close because Wojciech Swidovic is trying to get involved as well.
Yeah, Foggy lost a little bit of ground from Sutton. Now has 1.3 seconds of lead over P2, so he put the hammer down, I think, and got that gap that he will try to take until the end of the race. So P1 and P2 looks like they are sorted, but it's all up in the air for P3. You are right, all these guys are nose to tail. Balfour and Baker Swidovic, and I think also maybe Glatzel can get in the mix as well and bring McFarlane with him.
Well, it was a good lap for Sutton that time round. He was the only man in the field to lap under the 1 minute 34 mark, so 1:33.93 for Ash Sutton. Incidentally, his best lap is about a second slower than the best lap of Foggy or Balfour, but he's obviously just got that consistency, keeping the tyres in decent shape. And speaking of shape, well, Svidovic is shaping up Baker. See if he can take 4th place away from the Season 7 champion. Hard on the brakes into the hairpin. On the inside is Baker, on the outside is Svidovic. They're inches away from contact, but they very rarely do make contact, these two. Oh, there's a bit of it. Famous last words there, ladies and gentlemen, as these two proved me to be an idiot. But that's nothing new, as up the inside goes Svidovic. Now he's looking for that P4. But if Baker keeps that overlap, Marco, he should have the inside, he should have the high ground for this right-hander, which I said earlier on was very difficult to go around the outside of. But Svidovic again proves me to be an idiot, and he does it. He might even get the place here.
Running a bit wider, good exit. Now he will have the preferred line, using the extra tarmac there on the left. Going to be side by side on the front stretch. And
Here comes Glatzel.
Yeah, Glatzel using this battle to get back in the hunt for position.
Baker's up the inside. Svidovic was super late on the brakes, but really, really controlled. He didn't look like he would lose the car at any point. Didn't look like he would just plough straight on and miss the corner. It was tremendous skill, dexterity on the brakes. Once again, Baker's trying. He's trying to get that overlap. He's trying to force Wojciech Svidovic to give him that space that he needs. And look at them fanning out, Marco. They're really like trying to prevent the slipstream from being utilised properly here.
Absolutely. And now hard braking into the hairpin, which is called hairpin, by the way. Nice stop there.
Another very ingenious corner name from the guys at the Okayama International Circuit. How on earth did they make these names up? Oh dear me. I honestly didn't know that was what it was called. That's brilliant. Just hairpin. Just that's enough for me, to be fair. I can't beat that. Sutton leading still, 1.7 seconds. Foggy is in second place, Balfour third, Wojciech Svidovic in fourth, then Baker in fifth, Sven Glatzel that we're looking at sixth, seventh for Ross McFarlane, eighth for Jack Sedgwick, ninth for Pete Harrod, and Jamie Rushworth in 10th, another former champion, of course.
I think that Ash Sutton got the white flag this time around, judging by the time lapse, by the times he's doing and by how much is left on the clock. So it should be one lap to the end of the race, and it looks like the driver of car 01 has the win in the bag with Foggy. A safe bet for P2, but all to decide after that, because I think Balfour is pretty safe in P3, but behind them there are battles all over the field, and they will be resolved, I think, in these final corners of the final lap.
So if you're wondering why Wojciech Svidovic's car 1 and Ash Sutton is car 0, and if you don't know somehow, if you're watching the series and you don't somehow know who Ash Sutton is, he is the reigning British Touring Car Champion. So he does have car 1 in reality on his Subaru Le Vogue, and car 0 given to him for that reason. He's racing this league for quite a long time. And this has been one of his more impressive performances, because we don't often see, when he's on pole, we don't often see him fly away at the front, and he's done just that. With the first half of the race was a bit measured. Nico Foggy came back to him, but Sutton's just been really consistent. Those lap times have been very, very good indeed. And across the line then, the checkered flag will fly for Ash Sutton, and CQR takes the first win of the day. Great stuff there by Ash Sutton. Good driving. Nico Foggy as well. Balfour, Svidovic, Baker. Baker started second, finished fifth. He'll be disappointed, I think, with that drop in positions. Sedgwick, Harrod, Rushworth round out the top 10 behind Glatzel and McFarlane. Looking at these battles coming out of the final corner. Got Michael Davies there, trying desperately to chase down Scott Malcolm, but he can't make it. Alex Everett, or Scuderi Haggis, Jeroen Kweekel. He did take the start, but barely. Wasn't a great getaway from him. least I think it was him. And then Max Wright, William Daniels, last guys to come across. Paul Smith's still out there somewhere, still circulating, but he won't get any points for that. I think he's just trying to get some practice under his belt, because he has been out for the last few weeks with with his work commitments. He got sent down to London for a few weeks, I believe. So yeah, not being able to race. Came back on Monday night, Marco, and it wasn't a great time for him in the World GTs. He got smacked around a bit.
Yeah, just like me on Tuesday night in the MX5. So by looking at the standings, we see that there's nobody one lap down. So I think every reverse will be confined to position 35, William Daniels, and then all the guys behind him, I think. But I might be mistaken, but I think we have nobody one lap down. We will get confirmation now. The final result.
So we will see. The wheel will be in effect for just those drivers, 35th and up. But like we say, Ash Sutton wins 2.2 seconds over Nico Foggy. Ross Balfour in third, Wojciech Svidovic in fourth, Dave Baker fifth, Sven Glatzel sixth, Ross McFarlane P7, eighth for Jack Sedgwick, ninth for Pete Harrod, 10th for Jamie Rushford, Stuart McFadden in 11th, and Stephen Baxter in 12th. Top 12 was covered by 8.4 seconds. Jack McIntyre in 13th. Kip Stevens won the AM category in this race, and he's the current AM Championship leader. He will extend that quite massively, because Mark Woodhouse doesn't look like he's at this race meeting at all. You never know, you might see him for the next one. But Chris Wood, he's third overall in the AM category. He finished 15th. Diogo Melrose 16th. Brian Holmes 17th, and Jesper Drilica in 18th. He actually gained quite a lot of places, actually. He gained 8 places. Christian Rose in 19th. Pete Newman in 20th. 21st for Adam Hadfield. He was up 10. Dan Brewer 22nd. Mark Johnston 23rd. He was up 11. Alex Simpson, biggest mover in the field, up to 24th place. From 40th on the grid, Michael Blake in 25th. 26th for Rusty Laidley. 27th for Scott Malcolm. Michael Davis up 10 positions in 28th place. Magic Sakovic 29th. And Alex Everett, he gained 12 places for 30th. Jeroen Kweekel in 31st. And then Rob Graham 32nd. 33rd for Jake Blackhall. 34th Max Wright. 35th William Daniels. And then the cars out early on were Cunniff, Williams, Hall, Davis, McNally, Brown, Bodis, and... Well, Bodis and Smith finished the race, but 5 and 6 laps down, respectively. Right then, over to our esteemed cameraman and former BSR Porsche champion, Sam Kumo, to come and spin the wheel. And Sam, it was a fun race. What are you expecting out of this reverse grid then?
Yeah, it was a fun race, and kind of surprised to see everyone sticking so close together all the way to the end. So if we get a very large reverse, I think it's gonna be action-packed. And I'm happy to tell you it is full -1.
Full -1. So that will go to Max Wright, who will start from pole position. Jake Blackhall will be in second place. Rob Graham third, Jeroen Kweekel in fourth. And then Alex Everett will be fifth. And we will return for 2 more rounds in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship from Okayama when we return after the break here on Apex Racing TV.
And here we go. Engines will rise. Jamie Fluke needs to get a good start here. Martin Conke on the pole. And away we go. It's a good start for Fluke. Is he going to be able to challenge Conke into turn 1? Not quite. Conke gets a good start, and Fluke just about hanging on to second position going into turn 1. Bayman still in third, although he's under pressure from De Jong just behind. He hangs on to that one. De Jong with a really good start. Seemingly quite calm through these first few corners. How close is he this time? Just taking a slightly tighter line. Actually, he's really close. So, Ellis Jr. And actually, driver ahead doesn't help the situation. So, Ellis Jr. will go to the inside now, into turn 1. And he makes the move on Pashalis Gergis.
We'll see. Once again, the key will be Jamie maybe getting the famous second of gap towards to Rogers and not give him DRS. But Even this time it's 0.8 of a second at the DRS detection point. So they stay the same. Similar laps for the top 3.
Oh, what? Bayman's through.
Berryman made the move. Wow! What
So
happened
I think it was wide. Yeah, Rogers missed his braking zone. Oh, this is fantastic. Peter Bayman. This is Christmas and his birthday wrapped into one. Down the inside he goes into turn 1. Bayman up into P3 in Apex Racing UK. Really in business now, running in 2nd and 3rd. Pretty much identical. He's a little bit further back this time. Taking a slightly alternative line. He's mainly been kind of taking early apex there, and then kind of just sticking to the inside. That's he's going to go into the back of him, and that's just a mistake from S Junior.
You know, misjudgment in the braking. We see the replay right now. Let's see what happens. Wow, and that was a... Wow, the corpse car got launched in the air. We see these guys get 23 laps with one set of tires. We have 70 laps to go total, so even though... Let's see, Fluke is behind Jensen and in front of Rogers, if I'm not mistaken. But the drivers are changing tires, and I think that both... Well, Kroenke is out, Jensen is right behind him, and Fluke has overtaken Berryman, who's crucially in front of Rogers.
He could well be on a one-stopper. That would probably make more sense, wouldn't it? But more pressingly, Fluke, he's close again. Defensive, goes Jensen. Fluke to the outside, going into turn 1. And Jamie Fluke has made an awesome move there. Can he hold on to it though? He's still going to be under pressure. No, yes he can, so. And Bayman just behind.
Now, great exit from Peter. Oh, he's got him this time, I think.
Awesome run, and Jensen isn't even defending it. Bayman down the inside. Apex Racing UK back to 2 and 3. That poor qualifying from him has really cost Kevin, just exhibiting this awesome pace once again. And Bayman ahead of Fluke, so the change has occurred, and I think that's wise. But we didn't see him clearly have more pace than Martin Kroenke, which I think we can see quite easily right now.
Yeah, both Apex guys lapping faster, and Peter Berryman down the inside, and he makes the move, crucial move there. Can he defend on the inside? Oh, he left better grip from his tires, and he makes it stick. That is crucial. Great move by Peter Berryman here.
But, you know, Peter Bayman will take that still. Now, Fluke will get the move, and predictably, De Jong into the pits.
So, good lap there from Kroenke, I think, as Kevin Ellis Jr. on the outside of the area line in that corner, and Vacuum defending. I thought he was going for the pits.
Yeah, he's just
and he made it
there. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, and Vacuum's missed his braking zone, and he nearly went into the back of Ellis Jr. Like Ellis Jr. went into the back of the corpse earlier on. It's going to be close, and he's into the pits. Okay, so he's going to be in the nice little gap between De Jong and Jensen there. So there's not really too much pressure on this pit stop. Now it'll just be a case of catching up to De Jong, overtaking De Jong, then catching up to Kroenke, and overtaking Kroenke. Easier said than done. Oh, is he getting a new front wing? Oh dear. Peter Bayman. Oh my goodness, I thought maybe the damage would be costly for him. And he's going to lose a position here as well. Unless that's a speeding penalty. That's a really long stop for Peter Bayman. That's a speeding penalty, I think. 19 seconds. I can't believe it.
Wow. I think it was 4.1 seconds the stop, so it was a regular stop. But maybe a speeding penalty. Let's see the replay.
Yeah.
He came in with locked wheels. Yeah, he should get a good exit from this area lion duck corner. He does. He gets the DRS. Should be able to make the move on the inside, and he does. So podium on the cars for Jamie Fluke. as Berryman is trying to pass Omishima.
Kazuki was very well mannered
Oh, there's
then. Wow,
contact!
a little bit of
There's
contact, though.
contact.
Maybe just to put De Jong ever so slightly off, but it wasn't enough. Oh, and now Bayman round the outside. Can he pull off this move once again? Peter Bayman round the outside into turn 1. He has made it, surely. Can he just pull ahead into 2? Big Peter Bayman. Is there a bit of a risk of maybe Mitchell wisening up to where Jamie's quick, and maybe this could just start repeating itself lap after lap, do you reckon?
We'll see, because once again we have a good exit here. I think he'll get him this time. He does. So
Oh,
there's
De Jong's
contact.
nearly round, and Fluke's made it. He's up into P2. Closest he's been, Bayman. How much confidence does he have to do this penultimate corner? He's a lot faster than De Jong. He's within 0.2 of a second. He's on the gearbox already, and this is going to be simple for Peter Bayman. He's going to move up into the podium positions once again. Peter Bayman back down the inside of Mitchell De Jong. His second move on De Jong in this race.
He's pretty sure it will end his race in 8th position. Feeling pretty and maybe we'll try for close the gap on Hapal. About only 3 laps to go, and the gap is close to 1 second. So maybe there is not, and probably there's not enough time. So back to the front of the pack. Oh boy, I might have jinxed Kevin.
Oh dear.
He's a friend of mine, and he won't be happy when he hears and watches the broadcast. It was due to his, let's see the replay once again. I don't think he went to the grass. Maybe this will show a clearer picture. Oh yeah, no grass, absolutely. Just power and maybe all tires. Likely didn't hit anything, but he lost some crucial positions. Just, some wrinkles to iron out, and sometimes luck will fall on Apex UK's side for once. Season is still a bit longer, so we will have more opportunities as Cronky wins the race, and Fluke and Berryman will finish 2nd and 3rd, getting a nice double podium.
It's not going to be quite the result he wanted. A P7 would have been an awesome effort, but he started in 16th place. And it's a really good recovery from Kevin S. Jr. to come home in 9th position.
I knew that my pace was very strong coming into the race, but there was no way I expected to be that quick. Like you said, I could see consistently that I was catching 10th by 10th by 10th on the cars ahead. And unfortunately, a little bit of mistake, and I've thrown the win away. So pushing the pit entry, I locked the inside wheel, a bit like Imola last week, and once you lock a tyre, there's nothing you can really do. It's just heading to the scene of the accident, and I had to make a decision either to lift the brake and turn in, to avoid the wall, or hit the wall. And unfortunately, I had to lift the brake and just accept that I was probably going to get the penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's Peter's 4th consecutive podium position. So I think that might be his 4th consecutive 3rd as well. So really impressive. I think that's Jamie's best ever result in a race before. So yeah, not the win today, unfortunately. But boy, was it close. A small mistake from Peter Bayman perhaps cost him a chance. Jamie Fleet ending up in 2nd, with also with Kevin S. Jr. showing great pace in the end, ending up in 9th after starting outside the top 15. But the race win still eludes us. We'll be back at Indianapolis. But for me and Sam, we'll say goodbye for now, and we'll see you next time.
Here of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerit at the line.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
And he will get his foot down any moment now as the pace car pulls in. Team policeman waits to apply the throttle, and there he goes. It's not a brilliant launch for him, and Michael Abdock is right on his tail. Can he get into the slipstreams? Just side by side between Foggy, but
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV. We're at the Okayama International Circuit, and it's round 59 of the 2018 British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Andrew Woodhouse here alongside Marco Barbanera and Sam Kumo. And Marco, well, the reverse grid, it was 4-1, almost the biggest one we can get. And that means, as it did in the MX-5s, that we're going to potentially have quite a ride over the next 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, basically all the guys eligible for the reverse got involved, apart from William Daniels, that will start in 35th position, and then everybody in front of him has been swapped completely, top to bottom. So it's going to be always hectic start when we get this big reverse.
Here we go then. Any second now, the Kia Optimas will fire into life at the Okayama circuit. Red lights are on. And the green light is on. Good start by Max Wright, not the best one for Jake Blackhall on what will be the dirty side of the grid. Rob Graham trying to get in on the action for second place, but he can't quite get ahead of the Australian. Maciej Sakovic, you can see in there as well, but it's Wright that leads, but it's a very slim lead. Going through the middle sector of the track, I think there's a little bit of swapping and changes in the middle of the field, but not too much. Everything's all over the place on the timing screen. It's a real sight to behold. You can see there. Oh, off goes Dan Brewer.
And luckily he stays there. He didn't bounce back on the track. Oh, yeah. More crashes at the hairpin. I hear some definitely contact there.
Oh yeah, there's a car sideways. It's a Sim Auto car. I think it was 51, that's Mike Johnston. So he got turned slightly sideways. You do not want to turn up at the hairpin with a car in the way because you can't always see it. But it looks like everybody has got through okay, apart from the two that we mentioned.
Diogo Melro is lacking, no, the hood of his car is missing.
Oh.
I think he had a bad hit there at the hairpin, but it's complete chaos, even though, I mean...
Blackhall's got into the lead.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse, so good job for these drivers. Blackhall, Graham, Wright, Quickel and Davies are the top 5, and keep an eye on Sakovic there in P6.
Yeah, that's Michael Davies, by the way. And not Nathan. Nathan, I don't think he's here this week. Blackhall leading from Graham. Graham's putting up great pressure on Jake Blackhall. Blackhall's a multiple winner in the BSRTC. And Rob Graham's going for the lead. Blackhall sliding the car all around the place. Rear end wanting to overtake the front. Graham gets a great drive out of the hairpin. Rob Graham, great form it looks like. Got a nice slipstream on Blackhall. I don't think he's going to be able to get close enough. Is he thinking about sending one? I did think about it. Blackhall very early on the brakes.
Oh, contact.
Great. Oh,
great save by Blackhall there.
Graham nudges him. Not always easy to retain control of the car when you get nudged like that into a slow corner, but Blackhall did a good job. It was almost like Blackhall braked a little bit early. Graham sort of went, oh. I can suddenly realise that I might be able to have half a go here, but yeah, it wasn't really
He
didn't
wasn't
really commit to the
committed,
move. Yeah.
but he wasn't. No, he didn't know what to do. He was caught between a rock and a hard place. Basically, he didn't know what to do. Luckily, they were going very, very slowly, as Black Hole is using a lot of the grass there and the sand, and he's not going to have a good exit here coming out of the final corner.
No, I saw him go off the track. Graham, less than 3/10 behind. He's going to be right in the. Going to have an opportunity, maybe. Blackhall looks like he's struggling with understeer in the early going. See if Rob Graham can mount a challenge on Blackhall, and this surprises me, Marco. I must admit, I thought that Blackhall would be away. Oh. He's away now because he's off the track. Just a little nudge under braking, but it was enough to send Blackhall wide and down into 7th.
Yeah, you lose a lot of positions if you go out of the racing line, especially now with everybody so closely bunched up together.
I think Jake's car looks really unstable under braking. I think that might be why that little nudge that he had affected him so much, because it just looks like the rear just wants to dance around. It doesn't really look under control for Blackhall. Blake now trying to go around the outside of him, and it's a slowdown for Blackhall.
Or a slowdown, let's see.
Yeah, it's a slowdown. I think he's going to carry on, or is he? I don't know. Do not know what's happened there to Jake Blackhall.
It's a very long
I wonder actually, Marco, if he's already got quite a lot of incident points. I wonder if maybe it's to do with that, or maybe he's had a hardware failure or something.
You see, he's holding the steering, I think, towards the left to go straight. Maybe he's got some issues with his suspensions.
It's funny, it didn't look like that, did it? But now we're on board.
See,
yeah. It's like 10 or 15 degrees to one side. Yeah, he's got broken suspension. Wow, he didn't look like he got hit that hard, did he? But yeah, it's crabbing. Suddenly we can see that it's crabbing. That's a great spot. It's a really, really good spot, Marco, and that's just really, really bad luck.
Absolutely. Falling from the lead back to the back of the pack, and with the massive damage, it's going to be a struggle to stay on the lead lap and maybe get a good reverse.
I will make the point that the bad luck isn't necessarily, it's not the getting hit that was the bad luck, so obviously that's not luck, but it was just the fact that it did so much damage. That's the bad luck. Alex Simpson goes up into 7th position. He's just taken Michael Blake. See a battle between Sakovic and Davies just in front of them. Sakovic driving for Team Mad, Vortex Race Flow car, or Michael Davies. And yeah, it looks. Brian Holmes is dropping down. What's happened to him? Brian Holmes, who doesn't even appear on the first page of the championship. That's how bad a season he's having so far. Has had another bad round here. Euron Queekle is up in 3rd place. I don't believe he's had any races this season apart from that first one of the day. I think this is his first meeting. It's definitely a new team. Started with 0 points tonight. So the man from Holland, Queekle, chasing down the man from Scotland, the man
Alex
from England.
Simpson is Simpson is hard from the standings, and you see why.
Off. Now he already had damage to the front of that car. Oh, and that's broken as well. That's broken suspension, isn't it? Surely. What's happened to Alex there to drop all the way down from the top 5? Let's see it. I've no idea what's gone on.
Of course, no fast repairs, so you have to try to bring back the car home on the lead lap. As we see the replay, let's see.
Let's see it then. He's side by side with Davies. Oh, that was weird.
Hardware failure?
Maybe, but it doesn't explain why the car's handling so badly. It could be just a hardware failure. Let's have a little look. Yeah, weird, strange one. Very,
Looks
very
like,
strange.
like he's back in a good pace. Maybe let's see. Let's keep an
Oh,
eye on his lap
Drilica.
time.
Drilica's gone.
Yeah, everybody's passing him, and he disappeared.
That's
by
disqualification, I think, is it?
qualification on lap 5. Might be, yeah.
Oh man. Let's see then. Jesper Drilica was, yeah, he fell down the order massively. And Wojciech Svidovic looks like he might be dropping down as well. Let's have a look at Drilica then through the infield section. Was going quite nicely. Goes wide here. Comes across, does he... Let's have a look. Nothing's gone wrong for him there.
Went wide, I think. Or no, no.
Or does he make... Hasn't made any contact yet. Still wide, still wide. Oh,
Contact.
just a nudge, is that what does it? No? That's very strange. That's very, very strange indeed. It's probably a disqualification. Sorry about that, guys. That was 30 seconds of nothingness, but here's something. Rusty Laidler going through into the lead. Well, he's come up from 9th place. He's loving it out there. Brilliant.
Absolutely. Great pass there. Use a bit of aggression, but good driving, good hard driving, and now he gets in the lead. He was 6th just a few laps ago. Good climb to the... We know how hard it is to make moves on this track. Now he has, of course, Wright and Graham behind him. They are
My
two
God.
teammates, but
Sorry, Marco. My God, look at that battle from like 8th back.
yeah,
That's going on through. Look at that. That was all going through those hairpins at the same time. They're almost literally going through at the same time because, oh, they were right on top of each other.
gotta be extra careful there at the hairpins. We had a Euro V8 race a month ago, I think, and we had basically a roadblock there because of a crash.
I think I saw that one on the. Is that on the YouTube channel? I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's Wood going into the back of Sutton.
So that was at the beginning of the race, but since basically in the BSRTC Pro you have a huge pack all race long, it can happen at any second, and when you get involved there, and maybe you are high on incidents, you risk getting some wanted incident points, maybe another disqualification. So not good for the rest of your race and of your race evening.
The one thing about Okayama as well, Marco, is you think of it as a road course, you think of it as sort of this leafy sort of road course, but it's very similar to somewhere like Watkins Glen in the fact that the barriers are very, very close to the circuit. You've only got maybe 5 meters or so, you know,
Look at that.
before you hit the wall. So if somebody does spear off into the wall, they're likely to come back onto the circuit. It's a 3 wide between Svidovic, McIntyre and Chris Wood.
Yeah, never a good idea. Great for us, of course, but the 3 wide there at Revolver Corner. Luckily, they managed to get out of that without any major contact.
And it's going on between Malcolm and CQR boys, Sutton and Pete Harrod. There is Sutton who's trying to go around the outside of Scott Malcolm. He's not going to make that work because he went on the gravel. And Malcolm, I think, is going to maintain this into the first corner. Look at that, they're nearly 3 wide in the front as well. That's Stuart McFadden, I think. Oh, contact, and that's a CQR sandwich on Malcolm. I'll tell you what, he's defending superbly, the Scotsman. He's staving off the British Touring Car Champion at the moment, although Pete Harrod has gone round the outside. And now he has to surrender the position to Sutton. Newman and McIntyre. The way this works, Marco, is we mentioned the oval racing earlier on, but it's a bit like you do kind of get freight trained in this series, just like you do on say a short oval or you know, any oval really, but especially the short ones. When you get out of line, then 5-10 cars could get past you if you don't get back in your rhythm quickly.
Absolutely. Being on the racing line, you see some more contacts there at the hairpin. you need to stay on the racing line as much of the time as possible. You might move out of the way or be moved for a pass, and then you spend literally I mean, 1 or 2 laps to get back to the racing line. That's going to be position lost all the time. 3 wide at the hairpin once again.
Wojciech Svidovic is the man on the inside, and that's not worked out well for Scott Malcolm. I think he was pretty unlucky there. I think Svidovic was a bit optimistic. Didn't get Jack McIntyre to come through there. Rusty Laidler still leads the way, and he's got the gap up to 1.8 seconds. So Laidler is absolutely flying at the front, and he was actually the fastest man on the track in the last lap with 1:40.42. So he's obviously got something underneath him that he's very happy with indeed. Speaking of, speaking of the CQR boys, one of them's having a look there. Oh, McFadden.
Somebody's around there.
That's Malcolm. Malcolm's been knocked into the gravel, it looks like. Won't be happy with that. Alex Simpson's out, as is Jesper Drilica, Brian Holmes. Paul Smith, who's only done 3 laps after being in the pits for 9 minutes. Mark Johnston is out. Sven Glatzel and Dan Brewer didn't get past the first lap. As we saw Brewer going off, didn't see what happened to Sven Glatzel, but it can't have been good. Let's see if Rob Graham continues this mighty effort from Otto McKnockhill, trying to keep your own Quico behind him. And then it's Maciej Sakovic, and then the championship leader Stephen Baxter. Baxter's lead was down from just over 100 points to 95 points in the after the previous race. Where's Dave Baker, I hear you cry? Well, he's 20th, Marco, so he's not done too badly, Baker. He's up 10 positions, but doesn't tend to come through the field as well as maybe some of the others just in front of him.
Maybe he's playing it a bit safe in all this chaos unfolding right around him. As
Nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Oh, well, absolutely not. And this battle for third place is really amazing.
I think Quico might have just hit Rob Graham going into the last corner. Oh, now we're going to have 4 wide, I think. Can we get a shot from the side or from the top of this? Because that is going to be all sorts of chaos. Going into the corner, yes it was.
Wow. They saved it. Great job there. And now...
Oh, and having a go is Baxter.
Yeah, Baxter
was having a real dive on Maciej Sakovic there. The Polish driver managed to defend well. Everybody, you can tell by the body language of some of the cars, the driver's getting a little impatient, getting a little bit feisty out there. Just 4 laps to go, including the one we are on. It's the Okayama International Circuit in Japan. It's the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Andrew Woodhouse, Marco Barbanera, Sam Kumo on the cameras. Round 59 of the season. And we're just we're a few weeks away from the showdown starting. And these drivers desperately want to be in it. Oh, what's that? I can hear some more contact somewhere. I think it was just behind them in this group. Well, it could have been Pete Newman, actually, that's received some contact. Because he's down to 17th place now.
So Baxter got P3 in the end out of all that chaos that we had unfolding behind, right? It was a great, some aggressive moves by Baxter, but they worked in the end.
20 positions gained for him.
But the battles are absolutely not over, and I think third place will be up for grabs until the final corner of this race.
Yeah, it'll be great to see this unfolding as they vie for the podium positions here at Okayama. And you can see Max Wright there, second place, just got away slightly. Kip Stevens fighting hard with Michael Blake over the 10th position. Immortal car of Blake, number 29. Kip Stevens, number 18. Kip Stevens, for those who don't know, those who may be tuning into the series for the first time, won the first 2 seasons of this championship in its inception years of, I believe it was 2012, 2013. And then since then, he has reached the championship showdown a couple of times. Had half a chance to win it in 2015 completely, but a couple of incidents with Wojciech Svidovic actually that cost him a lot of points. Former Winter Series champion in the Mazda MX-5 as well, when that car used to be used as the car between seasons. On and off Off goes Rob Graham. He's in the gravel, Marco.
He's in the gravel, losing a lot of... He's back on the racing line, or racing surface, let's say, but he lost, I think, 3 or 4 spots there. You know, lap 11 of 13, we are basically battling since the green flag dropped. So, lack of concentration can happen there, of course. It's been a stressful evening for these guys.
This is another reason why I don't think I'm necessarily looking forward to when, no doubt, I end up in the car again in this league, because I wouldn't want to have to do this for 13 laps.
And 3 times per evening, basically.
Of just constant fighting. I want a few laps just to myself. I do enjoy the battling, but I'm not sure I'd enjoy this much battling. Oh, Savinovic and Foggy very, very close together. I think that's Stuart McFadden, is it, in the red CQR car with the red trim. Kip Stevens battling hard with Michael Blake still. I think Michael Blake's beginning to hold these guys up. I think Marco, he was over a second slower the previous lap than Michael Davies, who was 1 position in front of him. Now 2 seconds between them, so I think this is what's bunching them up, or at the very least it's because Stevens is putting so much pressure on Blake. Blake can't run his own laps. There's a bit of contact between Pete Harrod and Jack McIntyre, which allows Wojciech Savinovic to get up into 14th position. This is non-stop.
Absolutely not. Too bad that we only have 1.5 lap left in this second race, but luckily we have another race coming your way in a few minutes as we go 3 wide, 2 rows deep in the hairpin.
That Noah's Ark out there, 2 by 2, and then sometimes a 3. Let's see if Jack McIntyre. Oh, he got a bit of a nudge off of Foggy, I think it was. Foggy just ahead of a fellow Scotsman there, Stuart McFadden in the CQR Academy car. He's trying to go around the outside. The former World GT champion Stuart McFadden, teenager from Scotland, in a cracking job once more, showing his skills. He's just ahead of David Baker. Then it's there's a car off.
Who's that?
Car in the wall. It's
in the
not
wall.
Robert Graham, is it?
Oh man.
It was all going so well for Rob Graham.
As the white flag is in the air, final lap of the race, Rob Graham lost a lot of positions there, as we see.
And this is the battle for P2.
Yeah.
Tell you what, this is very, very close, very, very well fought between Stephen Baxter. I tell you what, this is a great opportunity for him to gain some points. His championship rivals, Baker is 17th, Foggy is 14th, Wojciech Savinovic is 13th. So if he can finish 2nd or 3rd here, really do him some good.
So later looks good for the race win there. I think Sakovic got disqualified. Oh no, he's back. He is back.
Oh, he's back. Oh, just internet issues. And he appeared right in front of Adam Hadfield. He must have had the fright of his life. As you see this Kia Optima just materialise in front of him after it had been in the ether for a few seconds at least.
Especially since he came back right in the braking area of the hairpin.
Oh dear. So we've lost Nathan Davis.
Oh, man,
or at least he's dropped well down the order. I don't know what's happened to Davies. We might see that after the race. But Rusty Laidler is coming through. He's just got 3 corners to go. Look at the damage on the front Laidler's car. He's like Derek Warwick. He wouldn't be a Rusty Laidler race if all the panels were straight on that car. But he's not going to care. So around the final corner he comes. The checkered flag is in the air, and it flies for Rusty Laidler. It's another victory for CQR, this time the Academy team. Laidler wins by 5 seconds. He'll be loving that. Stephen Baxter coming across in 2nd. Wright, Sakovic, Hanfield, Sutton, Quakel, Davis, Stevens, and Michael Blake just in 10th. Still going on. Actually a bit further down the field. Diogo Melro, Alex Everett, William Daniels. They've all come across, in fact, already, Marco. That's how close everything was. Is that, we couldn't even cut to them further down the field. They were already across the line.
Exactly. We are only waiting for a couple of drivers to finish the race.
I think they're all done, actually. That's record time, that. It's about 15 seconds for everybody to get across the line.
Maybe Nathan Davis is still missing from but maybe not. Maybe looking at the...
I think he was disqualified, I would imagine, because it says on my screen it's got 11 off tracks. That doesn't count contacts either, so
we'll see. At the moment, we have 33 cars on the lead lap. One car, one lap down, being Nathan Davis, so he won't be eligible for the reverse in any case, unless I think we have.
He will if it's a large number, though.
Yeah, unless
if it's a number higher than 34, then it will be he. So he's got a chance.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, if we have a minus something, he won't, but with a full reverse, maybe he will be able to get that pole position. So we see the race winner do the parade lap as we have the race results for you on the screen.
Yeah, results on the screen. Rusty Laidler wins once more. I'm just going to have a quick look and see when his last victory. Well, I know he's had. No, he hasn't had a win this season. So first one for him. He has won race in this series before, not for quite some time. Third time on the podium in 2018 for the CQR Academy driver. And of course, as traditional in the Kia Optima, reverse donuts. It's got to be done. You can see the results going through on the screen there. Tristan Bottas actually did get a good race in for Team Mad on his return. On his debut for Team Mad, it's only his second race for them. Debut meeting, I should say. Jamie Rushworth got in the top 20, as did Michael Hall. That was good from him. He started 41st. Adam McNally got there as well, 20th. Yeah, it's over to Sam for the reverse grid, the Wheel of Fortune.
Okay, here we go for the final race of the evening. Let's spin it and see what we get. And it will be full -4.
Right then, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's Jack Sedgwick, who's going to go on to pole position, I believe, if I've got my counting correct, with Alex Everett behind him, Diogo Melro, William Daniels, and Tristan Bottas. They'll be starting in the top 5, and you'll be able to see how they get on when we return on Apex Racing TV. It's the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. We'll be back in just a few short minutes from Okayama.
Hangs on to the inside of Docker, not taking too many risks, and down the inside for Klusman. It's a good start for him, just holding on against Docker. Foggy into 3rd, Granton 4th, Jackson 5th, Lutzmore 6th.
And Daledonne goes around at the chicane. He's bringing the car back onto the track, but he lost a lot of positions there. Too aggressive, as I said, inexperienced with his cars, and it showed here.
And Abdoka leads this race, and now Foggy's looking for any opportunity to get past. Brandon looking racy as well in 4th. Klusman, he's not used to this, being overtaken on just the 2nd lap, but seems to be that Abdoka has certainly the pace to win this race. Down the inside goes Klusman. Abdoka not building up the lead, but Klusman there trying to stay as close as possible. Trying to get the move down into the Casio triangle. Down the inside goes Lutzmore, and he can get that done, and here comes Richie. Down the inside, can he get it stopped? Just about, but he needs to get the cut back now. Really dry. Oh, and off the track goes Lutzmore. He got the move done. Richie might gain 2 positions here in a couple of corners. Richie into the slipstream. Gotta go to the inside. Not much defense from Jackson, and Richie will just go straight through here, and he goes up into 5th place. Brilliant debut drive for Richie out.
Sorry guys, I want to butt in very quickly. Michele Ricci around, coming out of the Casio triangle. Issues for him.
Yeah, I was watching the live timing. I thought he was going in for a pit stop, or a very early pit stop, but you're right, he went around.
I think Klusman might be about to lose a position here. Here comes Foggy. Klusman's got to slow down. Don't go into the back of him, Brandon. Oh, that was so close. Klusman was desperate not to drop down to 4th. Foggy close, not looking for a move. Do you think that was maybe... Do you think he's quite happy? Do you think that's a sign? Because there was no kind of glance to the inside at all there. Oh, he's off the track. No. But he's held on. He's going to remain in 2nd place. Wow, that was so close. What's that? Oh, what do you think of that?
Commentator's curse?
Oh, no.
Oh, another error.
And Brandon now around the outside. He's going to have the inside for the final S. And Klusman started in 1st place. but on lap 10 he's fallen down to 4.
And avoiding contact while the other car
Oh, we
was
got another
joining.
driver up. So, Rosie Borges has just gone off. McKnight, no. Wow, and now down the inside of both of them goes Michel Ricci. Down the inside goes Ricci. McKnight's going to try to hang it round the outside. Ricci hangs on 2 places in 1. We're seeing McKnight spend 10 laps behind Borges, not being able to make up 1 place. And Ricci has made up 2 places twice now in this event. Doesn't seem like anyone's going to pit this time round. And now
Klusterman is in.
Oh,
well.
So Alex, you're opposite.
Miles off.
Evdoka's in. So Evdoka's in.
And of course, he beats this time.
Well, now we're really confused because I was hoping that for once Apex Racing TV would know what's going on with the strategy, but that's right in the middle. So he's left himself options, but now a 2-stop's going to be surely really difficult for him to achieve. A driver a little bit off the. Oh, Foggy is in. Foggy's in. Is Brandon in? No, Brandon stays out. So surely that's got to be a 2-stop for Brandon. Is Foggy exiting the pits? Yes, he's miles ahead. Foggy is a long Nicole Foggy with a much shorter pit stop, 9 seconds shorter.
And Johnny Brandon is in from the first position.
Latsmore in as well, and Jackson. So that seems to be the cutoff. No further than 19 laps on these tyres. Foggy will retake the lead. Brandon still stationary, clearly going on the same strategy as his teammate Michael Evdoka, but where will he be in relation to Evdoka? Evdoka passed, so Brandon still stationary. It's going to be a 35-second stop, 3 seconds slower than his teammate. Stephen Lattimore gonna be, yep, exactly the same stop for him though, 4 seconds, and Jackson 34 seconds. Where's Ricci compared to them? Ricci has jumped them both. So Ricci with that short stop has gone from 7th to 5th in that pit stop period. Building on your point you just said, how drivers aren't really taking advantage. Tony Klusterman just made a big error. Oh, an error now for Ricci. Lattimore down the inside. Ricci's not going to have a chance. And that is that's much better than what Ricci did in the Casio Triangle when Klusterman made a mistake, because Lattimore has pounced on that, and that was a really good opportunistic move in the end. Whittaker's got to let past these two. This is not what Lattimore needs whatsoever. But again, Ricci's not there to take advantage. Whittaker off the circuit, but lets them through eventually. And again, Ricci, he's not really there. What's the chances of there? Oh my goodness, Lattimore, another slide. Here comes Ricci down the inside of Spoon. Can he make it? Yes, he can. No, he's got a big slide down the inside. Goes Lattimore. He's going to have to jerk his second part of Spoon, sorry. And here comes back Ricci. They're going to be side by side, going into 130R now, heading up the hill. And Ricci, doubt he's going to have a go down here.
Klusterman is in. Yeah, Klusterman is in for a pit stop.
Okay. Yeah, I really should just shut up now, shouldn't I? Because I've been wrong on every single count.
Number 66.
Oh, he's in.
He's in, yeah.
Oh, okay, well, this is really spicing up now. I was a bit concerned that maybe they're all going to go for 2 stops, but there's a clear divide in the strategy. Foggy in on lap 30 of 56. So, of course,
and Evdoka is in. Evdoka is in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
By the way, and now he's the new leader.
Evdoka's ahead of Foggy. What a quick stop for Michael Evdoka. 7.7 seconds for Evdoka. What a pit stop. He is into the net lead.
And Lattimore is around again. Oh no, he's safety.
Oh, he's going to lead up to Jackson, isn't he? Here comes Jackson. Is he going to get a slowdown, Lattimore? And Lattimore does pit this time, so he won't have to serve the slowdown. That's the smart thing to do. Yeah, classic error in this car. We've seen it a few times today. Just the wheel spin is so difficult to control. Really do respect these drivers out here for doing, 56 laps in such powerful cars. Just a little bit of a reference. Foggy is 25 seconds behind, and they both have a stop to go. Brandon's stop is going to be significantly longer, however, but Foggy is closing in at 2 seconds a lap currently, and is now only 3 seconds behind Michael Evdoka. So, I think Brandon's in.
He's in.
So, This is going to be kind of where we get a decent reference and the target for Foggy, because he's going to undoubtedly be a long way behind, but it's how far behind it is going to be the important question. And Jackson in it as well, yeah. So Evdoka will lead. No, Evdoka's in! Oh my goodness. What's... So Evdoka had that super short second stint. You know what? I don't think that's worked for him, has it? Surely not, because he's going to have the same length of pit stop as Brandon. And, yeah, just lots more going past. And Chris Jackson going past as well. Michael Evdoka, Jimmy McKnight going past. And Jose Borges just going through 130 up. And Kliesman 25 seconds now stationary, and away he goes. So decent stop for Kliesman, and I think he might just stick in that 7th place to the end of the race now. He's still stationary. Brandon is coming across the line now. Foggy still stationary, still taking fuel seemingly. Brandon's going to take the lead. Through goes Johnny Brandon into the lead of the race. Nicole Foggy now gets away.
Definitely tyres, guys. Second
Definitely tyres. Okay, thanks for that.
Optimal straight away. Sector 2, optimal. So he's quick.
This is on, so 8 seconds to catch, and he has got, this is lap 49 of 56. This is proper intense now. He doesn't, and he go to the inside here. Big slide for Jackson. Jackson's slow, going to be slow on the exit. Here comes Evdoka. Needs to get the run. This is crucial. Championship point to get such a big slide, does Michael Evdoka. But he's still in the slipstream, right behind Chris Jackson. They're not going to clear the 71 car in time. Defensive from Jackson. Round the outside goes Evdoka. He needs this all the way round the outside through the first part. Through the second part, he can get the inside for the third part. He's nearly lost it. Oh my goodness me, I thought that was curtains for the pair of them. Evdoka, I thought he'd made it, but clearly those marbles just affecting him too much.
He maybe doesn't know that Johnny Brandon is on worse tires than Foggy, so he doesn't know that there will... Oh, we got an attack on the outside. That was very risky.
Go for it. He's got the inside maybe for the final corner. Here he goes. He's got to go for it. Brandon down the inside. Can't make it.
Long story short, he wants to make the pass. He wants to get the point. Because we don't know if Foggy will be able to pass Brandon, in all seriousness. And he tries again on the outside.
Oh, big contact.
Oh, that's a big
my
crash.
goodness. Wow. That was as close as... Oh, and he's got damage. I think that's Jackson with steering damage, maybe. Brandon got decent traction from the hairpin. And Foggy, he's struggling to get any closer. He's 4/10 behind. This is about the same gap as last time. He should have the run through spoon. This is where he was so quick at the start of the race. And now he's lining it up. He's got to absolutely nail this traction zone here. He's close, he's close. He's nailed the traction. And now here comes Foggy in the slipstream. Any chance into 130R. Warming him, the car, Woodward gets out of the way. Foggy so close. Brandon, surely he's got to defend into the Cascade Triangle. Brandon defends, to the outside goes Foggy. Can he go round the outside here? He tries it. He can't make it. Can he get the traction on the exit? It's going to be Johnny Brandon, surely, to take the race victory. His 6th of the season, and Brandon gets it. What a race. Foggy in 2nd place. Wow, Marco, that really was the finish we all wanted.
2 hours of racing, and we get this amazing finish.
It's right on the knife edge right now. Brandon closes in the championship. But the race results today, Johnny Brandon, what a race. Pulled off the 2-stopper. We'll never know, I guess, which was faster, the 2-stopper or the 3-stopper, because in the end, they were separated by less than a 10th of a second. Stephen Latsmore, great drive from him. Gotta give a shout out to him. 16.5 seconds off the lead, and he was quite a bit behind actually after the first few laps, so brilliant drive from Stephen to come home in 3rd. I think that's probably his best result of the season, so well done to him. Michael Evdoka, it could have been better, it could have been worse. I must say, I'm not sure if he had the pace of the top 2 out there. Early on, he seemed to be struggling against Foggy. But I think he'll take that 4th place after that terrifying moment down the pit straight. Tony Klusman comes home in 5th after getting pole position. That strategy just never worked out for Tony, and he just lacked a little bit of pace. Also, a penalty in the pit stop that cost him as well. Michel Ricci, good debut for him in 6th position. Chris Jackson comes home in 7th. Could have been a 4th for him, but he was super unlucky out there with that contact. Jamie McKnight come home in 8th. Jose Borges, another good race from him in 9th. Anthony Woodward comes home in 10th. Richard Warmingham, very kind of on his own race up there in 11th.
But obviously there wasn't a lot in it. I wasn't planning to do the 2-stop. I just didn't quite do as well as I'd hoped in quali. So after the first stint behind the top 3, I was saving so much fuel, lifting and coasting everywhere. I thought I might as well go for it. I did start worrying in the second stint because I was lifting and coasting so much more to try and make those laps, but paid off in the end. So happy days.
Oh yes, most definitely. I'm happy to get a 3rd. I wasn't too confident coming into this round. This track, cars, lights everywhere. Typical slippery Japanese track. But yeah, strategy worked out for me in the long run.
In the final 5 rounds, final 2 meetings coming up in the next month here on Apex Racing TV. From me, Marco and Alex, we will see you in 2 weeks' time at Kota for the penultimate round of the season.
do not adjust your sets, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't got some strange graphics error or some dodgy grey screen. That is the view over the Okayama International Circuit in the final race of the day in the BSRTC. The fog has descended, I kid you not. We need to go down and find some cars, I think. Jack Sedgwick will be on pole. And oh my word, look at this. And then it'll be Alex Everett, Diogo Melro, William Daniels and Tristan Bodice. The lights are on. The revs are rising. The green light is on. Good start by Sedgwick. He's the only one I can see at the minute. There's Alex Everett in second place with good area Haggis. Diogo Melrose in third. Fourth is William Daniels. He's side by side with Melro going through the middle sector. Amazingly, Marco, everyone has got through the first few corners.
Yeah, hopefully on the racetrack level, these guys have a better chance to see what's coming next, because from high up here, where the cameras are positioned, you get this very, very thick layer of fog, and now you see on the backstretch especially, look at this, it's impossible, and oh, there's a car in the wall, big crash there on the backstretch.
Oh, and nobody's going to see it, are they?
Cars in the air, there was a massive crash.
Is it Wojciech Svidovic that's crashed? Oh, he's turned Blackhall, I think, into the wall. Is it Blackhall?
Somebody got sent launching in the air.
Wojciech Svidovic, bang!
4 or 5 cars involved there, and it's a massive accident. Svidovic is involved, as we see.
I wonder.
Where's the race leader?
No, Jack Sedgwick is still leading the race.
Yeah, sorry, somebody must have teleported back to the pits, and now.
Yeah, it's Mark Johnston.
Yeah,
it's Mark Johnston. Wonder if we could go on board with maybe with the second or third place man, maybe with Diogo Melro, just see exactly what these guys can actually see. It actually looks decent from inside the car, and so that's actually reassuring that it's not going to massively affect the visibility of accidents and the like, Marco.
Yeah, the drivers have, you know, if you have ever seen, especially here in Italy in the winter, football matches in northern Italy get this problem that you get some massive fog, and on the field level it's actually decent, but the cameras on the stands, as we see Melro going for a move there, the cameras on the stands have a massive problem because all the fog tends to rise up, and you see it's a bit more difficult to understand what's going on here, as we have a nice battle there, Melro and McFarlane, Everett, Daniels, all together as they go to the hairpin.
Yeah, they emerge from the gloom then. Diogo Melro is in second place. Ross McFarlane's taken Alex Everett. I think Alex Everett might have a slowdown because or maybe he was just a bit tentative through that double left-hander. Chris Wood fighting hard with Dan Brown. Wood on the inside, Brown on the outside. He's been forced a little wide, but he's got the inside line for the right-hander. Oh, very, very close there. Oh, almost a quarter panel. Don't want that. And he's through his Brown. So good driving from him. Pete Newman's just behind Marco in car 21. And Craig Williams is making up the top 10.
Yeah, Sedgwick gets another lap in at 35.2, 35.8 for Merlo, 35.5 for McFarlane. So Sedgwick trying to increase that gap in the front, and it's all happening around Craig Williams here in P10. You see his white and black car with Newman in front, all behind. As we sadly, you know, as soon as the camera zooms out, unfortunately, we have a little bit of problem in making out the liveries. Foggy on the inside of Paul, and I think he will bring P11 under his belt, and now once again on the backstretch is anyone's game and anyone's guess.
Of course, as you mentioned earlier on in the between races, Nickel's got the home field advantage, hasn't he, Mr. Foggy? So if he doesn't do well in this race, I don't know what he's going to do. Side by side with Michael Hall.
Oh,
whoa! very close indeed.
I think I should deserve to be fired on the spot for just only thinking that.
I
But
mean, it's
let's-
no worse than any of Adam's, and Adam's not here, so you know. Yeah, I mean, you've not been fired yet, so I mean, it could be a good opportunity. You know, Adam gets fired every week, so you know. Chris Wood and Pete Newman look like they're pretty close together.
Yeah, as Foggy is trying to complete this pass on the outside, still
done
hasn't been able to get rid of all as Williams.
I'm still not sure whether he has as well. I can't see him.
Yeah,
There he is.
now we have.
Still on the outside.
Yeah, I think now we will have a better run. Maybe.
Williams got nudged off of the inside line, I think, and that's put him right in the way of Foggy. So Hall's now got the upper hand, and Ash Sutton's in there somewhere as well. He's probably the one that's... oh, there he is, in the back of the shot. Car 01, he's just got past Jack McIntyre up to 13. Might be able to take... Oh, that's Michael Hall there. His teammate at CQR. Foggy on the left. Hall's trying to get past Williams. Williams defending hard on the right-hand side. He's almost up against the white line. Ash Sutton's going up the middle into the hairpin. And that is just brilliant by Ash Sutton. He's made that one work, and he's now clipped Williams. Williams all the way across. He's in the gravel, but he's going to survive. He's going to go the big, long way around. He's going to stay in the race, Marco.
Yeah, somebody went very, very deep at the hairpin as well. In the graph, it was a blue car. I couldn't understand.
I think it could have been... I'm not sure if it was McNally. Maybe. It's hard to tell, though. I think he was at Youth Energy, like a Scuderia Haggett's car.
It was in front of Sutton, and he came back on track in front of Sutton still. So I don't know who that was, but yeah, crazy moment there with Craig Williams, and luckily he didn't collect anybody, because that could have been disastrous with his car basically sweeping the traffic left to right. And he found a hole and luckily avoided contact with all the other guys that were near him.
Yeah, I'm not certain who it was. I think it could have been McNally, because he's down 6 places from where he started. Not entirely sure about that, but because it's, like I say, it's hard to see at the best of times. What a move by Sutton at the hairpin on the previous lap. That was very, very good indeed. Now he takes Nico Foggy at the first of the essentially hairpins, but that one's a more open, much more open hairpin than the one we're about to reach.
I think that was Michael Hall that went wide at the hairpin. Looking at the timing.
I don't think no, it wasn't, because he's still there. He's still right in front of Sutton.
No, but he was way. He was a few positions ahead, I think. Then
no, because he was
back.
in this he was in that battle. I don't think it was him. He was in that battle to begin with.
Oh yeah,
so.
you are right.
Because he went through. Yeah, he was on the right hand side. So I don't actually know.
Newman, maybe, I don't know. So it was a blue car. Now that I think about it, so
Yeah, it was mostly blue. I think it could be McNally. We'll see. So Jack Sedgwick leads by 2.7 seconds. Then it's Diogo Melro, just ahead of Ross McFarlane. Then it's William Daniels, a few seconds behind him. Then it's Alex Everett. Then it's Tristan Bodice, Dan Brown, Pete Newman, Michael Hall, and Chris Wood. Lap 6 of 13. We're about to get onto lap 6.
great
the
battle
Okayama
for here.
circuit.
Look at
Sorry.
Melroy and McFarlane. Nose to tail here, and I think that McFarlane is trying to line up a move. Of course, like we said multiple times this evening, not easy at all.
Well, it's Team Mad versus Northern Lights Racing, GT Omega. Diogo Melro, Portuguese driver, former Cup Series champion, I believe. Sven Glatzel's in the pits, so it's over for him. Don't know what happened to Glatzel when he's out. The man who, well, he's had 3 wins this season, but he's sat outside the showdown positions. Doesn't seem like he's got the consistency quite there, the German. And it looks like Brian Holmes might have crashed, but we'll see what we can see there in a minute. But here's Sven Glatzel off the circuit, loses the rear. Oh, that looks like suspension damage, Marco, because that was very odd how he just went off there.
Yeah, And like you said, that's going to be his race.
And I believe Max
Yeah.
Wright and Brian Holmes might have crashed into each other, Sam. I don't know if we can find that on the screen. Holmes has stopped. Wright is out. I wonder if it's with each other. No, yes, it will be. Because Wright, just behind, goes into the hairpin. Oh, and he hits number 41, which is Jake Blackhall. And then I think Holmes received suspension damage from that, Marco. Such a small hit. But we've seen a couple of small hits just wreck these cars tonight.
And you see Holmes has to park his car and then teleport back to the pits. Lap 7 of 13. We are halfway through this chaotic race 3 in the fog. Terrible driving conditions for these guys. They're putting on a show.
Oh, look at this. Somebody's going through the middle. I'm not sure who it is. I think it's Rushworth. I can't see. I have no idea. It was 3 wide for a second. Here comes Williams. Is Williams going to go for the hero move up the inside, like up the middle, like Sutton? No, he doesn't. That's a sensible option. Rushworth trying to get past Williams, trying to make this move stick. And the former champion, Jamie Rushworth, goes through. Season 4 champion, I believe, was Jamie Rushworth. And then just behind them is McNally and McIntyre. Oh, almost got into each other there, the two teammates. Pete Harrod lurks behind us. There's Christian Rose, and race 2 winner Rusty Laidler's up to 20th. Alex Simpson's up to 22nd. See him at the back of this group as well. There he is. Yeah, Laidler making good progress. He's just about caught this pack. His teammate Christian Rose is in that battle. Now they're still going at it hard for second place. Melro and McFarlane.
Oh, car sideways.
That's contact between the teammates there at Scuderia Haggis. Adam McNally and Jack McIntyre. Racing hard between themselves there. Really pushing it. And there's the 2 CQR Academy cars, so I wonder if they're going to try and pin some movement here to dislodge those two from those 17th and 18th positions. Tristan Bodis has taken down Brown. Michael Hall's fallen down behind Nicole Foggy. Adam Hatfield going round the outside with a nice long move, using momentum to get the job done. Alex Simpson's on the gravel. He continues. Back of the grid start for him, up 15 positions. 13 positions gained for Jesper Drillica. And Dan Brewer up 13 as well. Ash Sutton is up to 9th position too. Good run by Sutton, actually, Marco. 27th place, which meant that he didn't have massively... He had some of the faster drivers to work his way through. That's what always impresses me about Sutton, is that he can scythe through the quicker guys as well as the slower guys.
Yeah, and you know, consistency is a big key in winning this championship.
There goes Daniels on the receiving end from Tristan Bodis.
Good save.
Yeah, very good. Now he's going to have to try and save this 8th place, as it's under attack from Pete Newman. Ash Sutton as well. Oh, quarter panel,
no.
Bang! Massive one for Dan Brown. He's going to be out of the race. Newman severely damaged as well. Sutton continues into 7th. And Brown falling down the order massively.
Newman is holding his steering wheel straight, so that's a good sign, but you see he's all over the place here at the hairpin.
Yeah.
So the front of his car is massively damaged, I think, so it's going to be tough for him in final 5 laps of the race to bring the car home.
He's going to have aero damage as well. He's going to be slow in a straight line, Pete Newman. You would imagine. Jamie Rushworth just behind him. CQR stablemate. Jack Sedgwick still leads by 4 seconds. He's done a cracking job in the front of the race. Diogo Melro in second. Farland and Everett. Daniels and Bodice look like they could be side by side. Oh, sorry, Sutton and Bodice. I've got that wrong. But Sutton gets that very right and gets through. I wonder if Tristan Bodice can fight back for Team Mad. It's like good straight line speed in the CQR car, though. Bodice was right in the slipstream, Marco, and couldn't get any closer, really.
Yeah, and another move done by Sutton, who now will try to get to Daniels. I think he will be able to do that. The gap is 1.2 seconds. We are on lap 10 out of 13, so 4 to go. And I think that he has the pace, Sutton has the pace to go and grab at least a top 5 now.
Yeah, I think Daniels has showed good pace, but can he hold off Ash Sutton? That's going to be very difficult, you would imagine. Alex Everett's a further second up the road. I think that's as far as he's going to get, though. He won't get to third place, but he might get fifth or fourth. Look at how he's pulled away from Bodice already. Bodice is not slouching around out there, doing the 38s. 37s for Sutton. And through the fog and, say, the relative gloom of the Okayama circuit, we see now Sutton absolutely monstering the back of Daniels. And when Sutton starts doing that, Marco, when he starts moving out off his line and having a look, oh, look at that! He's clinical. He makes that one work nicely. And he didn't even wait for the main straight.
No, short and sweet. He went for the gap in the final corner and made the pass stick. And now
here comes Daniels. Daniels trying to fight back, but Sutton's so good on the brakes. That's very difficult to get past him because he is a master. And we've seen that in the MG and in the Subaru over the last few years. Just manages to be able to make moves out of nowhere. That's tremendous stuff. I think Ash Sutton, I think there are drivers in this series, Marco, I think if it's fair to say, that are as fast as Ash Sutton, but I don't think anybody is as good a racer, and that's not even close in my opinion, as but that is very close.
Yeah, looked like McFarlane was finally able to get the move done, but Melro was able to defend into the airpin, and now the double left-hander. Melro is able to get that little bit of a gap needed to breathe a little bit, and not much time left if McFarlane wants to make another move.
Yeah, Melro, bit of understeer there though. It's about who's keeping the tyres in shape as well, because even though it's very cool out there, you still have to watch that the tyres don't get ridiculously hot. Then you'll start losing grip exponentially out there. And McFarlane just able to hold much tighter lines, but having said that, Melro got good momentum. And he uses that momentum to good effect. For now, 2 laps to go. And again, it's like McFarlane's faster into the corner, Melro faster out of it.
We'll see if McFarlane will be able to get once again a good run on the backstretch like he had on the previous lap.
Alex Everett under a lot of pressure from Sutton as well. That's for 4th. Ash Sutton dives down the inside, tiny bit of contact, but not a lot Everett can do. He might be able to get this cutback here. I mean, he is brave on the brakes, Alex Everett. I've raced against him a few times. Okay, a Club Series, he was strong in that. Very good rally driver as well. And he's actually made that work very nicely, Alex Everett. Keeps that place, nicely done. Good on the brakes. And he did it without a lot of drama.
So just for 1 second, McFarlane was again in front of Melro in the backstretch, but then Melro was able to get the right line into the hairpin and is back maintaining the 2nd position as we begin the final lap of this race with Jack Sedgwick still in the lead and looking like he has the win in his pocket.
Yeah, he's driven beautifully. He started on pole position. White flag is in the air. And yeah, it must be frustrating though for Ross McFarlane that he knows he can probably have the better of Diogo Melro, but every time he gets, like you say, he gets his nose in front, Portuguese driver just finds a way to regain his composure, regain the position. Nico Foggy is on the move, 1:37.8, fastest man on the track that last time round, and he's up into 6th position. Sutton and Everett side by side in the gloom somewhere. Everett on the inside into the hairpin. Sutton's car wiggling around under braking, gives him a little nudge, and again tries to use the chrome horn, not successful that time, but he gets good traction. It's much better traction out of this corner, out of the right-hander. And Melro and McFarlane again are side by side. Unbelievable stuff, really. I think they've crashed into each other, you know.
Yeah. Must have been some contact at the hairpin now. Sutton has the outside. As you see a replay of what happened in the battle for P2.
I think they must have had an incident because there's a couple of seconds between them now. Oh, McFarlane goes up the inside, goes on the grass. He had to have a go. He knew that he wouldn't lose another place. Fires through, but now it's time for Jack Sedgwick to come through. Here we go, on to the start-finish straight then. Jack Sedgwick started on pole. He's led every single lap. And in the fog, somewhere we see him. Jack Sedgwick takes the win in round 3 at Okayama. Brilliant stuff. Diogo Melro resisted the pressure and finishes in 2nd place. Ross McFarlane does get 3rd. Like I say, it was a little bit of a shot to nothing, they'd call it in snooker. Nothing to lose, really. Sutton in 4th, Foggy 5th, Everett 6th, Daniel 7th, Baker, then Bodis, Hall, and all the rest of them coming through in little gaggles.
I think Everett got a slow down in the final 2 corners because he was very slow on the front stretch and let Foggy by. So
I hope he served it. I hope he did serve
exactly.
that.
Otherwise, he will be sent to the back of the lead lap cars. So hopefully, we will know when everybody crosses the start-finish line.
I think he could have done. He lost 2 or 3 seconds on the final lap, so it might have been enough for him to just serve that penalty. Looking down the order, Rusty Laidler, who won race 2, finished 19th, just ahead of Alex Simpson. Where did Stephen Baxter finish in that one? He only finished 26th, but still valuable points for the man who still leads the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship after 59 races. Jack Sedgwick, then, he'll be super happy with that performance, you would think. Great job out there. And yeah, he takes his, I believe, is it his 2nd win of the season? Yeah, it's his 2nd win of the season, Jack Sedgwick. So that will definitely strengthen his position in the showdown positions. It's the top 12 that get into the showdown, plus 3 wild cards based on wins. You can see the results on the screen there. And yeah, Sedgwick, a deserved winner ahead of Melro, McFarlane, Sutton. Foggy, aptly named, and did a good job. 12 positions, gained up into 5th. Alex Everett, 6th. He did serve his penalty in time. Then Will Daniels, then Baker, Bodist and Hall, the top 10. Rushworth, Wood, Newman, Williams, Harrod, McIntyre, Rose, McNally. Laidler and Simpson round out the top 20. Think they'll be happy with those results. Then in 21st, it's Ross Balfour, with Adam Hadfield just behind him. Then Davies, Jalitska, Blackhall, Baxter. And then Michael Blake, Sakovic, Michael Davies, Graham, Smith, Malcolm Brown. And then, well, Brown was actually won't score any points because he's 2 laps down. And then the ones down with the Brown at the back were Dan Brewer, Jeroen Kweekel, Sven Glatzel, Max Wright, Brian Holmes. And we had 4 drivers who were out on the first lap: McFadden, Svidovic spectacularly, Stevens and Johnston. Oh, Marco, I have to say, first time we've worked together, and that was a very, very enjoyable meeting to call up here.
Man, we had everything in this meeting. I mean, great racing, great battles, some amazing overtakes, and of course this crazy race 3. in the fog that proved to be a challenge not only for the drivers but
I think
also
more for
us and for Sam behind the cameras. But I think we were able to do a decent job, all considered.
Well, considering that's what it looks like from above, I think we didn't do so badly. In the end, we do have some drivers waiting to be interviewed. We're bringing Rusty Laidler now, race 2 winner. Rusty, it's a circuit where you've got to get the old elbows out, and it looked like you had a few bent panels on the car in race 2, but that was enough for you to fly through to the win.
Yeah, race 2 was an absolute cracker for me. Car was absolutely where I wanted it. And I just kind of slowly, one by one, passed who I needed to pass. And then I managed to get second because I caught the 2 auto-rec drivers battling. So that managed to sneak me past Rob Graham quite easy. And he was probably my biggest worry because...
Cheeky.
Hey, he's one of them drivers that if you pass him, it doesn't matter how far ahead you are. He's throwing his car at you. I've watched it time and time again. It's like being in a Forza lobby. So I've learned to expect that. But no, fair play to Rob. He was very, very generous. He was very kind to me in that race, and so was Max.
I'm not getting involved. I get enough abuse as it is.
Come on, man.
Without agreeing or disagreeing with you. But I will say that we're just watching you start from race 3. And when you saw the fog, were you worried? I mean, it still looked like the visibility was decent.
When I saw the fog, I was over the moon. I thought all my Christmases had come at once. I've been
you missed that big accident by not a lot.
Yep, I saw it going on. I just stayed to the left and hoped for the best because it's all I could do.
If there was any more fog, you wouldn't have had a chance.
Yeah, well, it's just one of those things, isn't it? But yeah, right place, right time. But no, it's nice.
I was going to say though,
for a long time.
Sorry to interrupt. I was going to say, like, going back to your point about the car feeling perfect for you. You were consistently the fastest man out there in race 2, so
well, that's nice to know.
You must have found the groove of, I definitely checked 2 or 3 times, and you were the fastest man on the circuit.
I was just looking after my tyres, that's all it was. There was a few times, I don't know if you saw or not, but I kind of missed my brake point in for the hairpin. And that one, missing your braking point there, obviously your ABS kicks in, your tyres start to melt. So that whole sector there, you've got to be really ginger and bring the tyres back to you. And I soon learned where the brake markers were and where I needed to brake, and I just kind of tried to control the gap from there. As soon as I saw Baxter come up, I just kind of pushed a little bit just to keep that 5-second gap, and then the last lap I just cruised it round.
Because I think there was more crashing in front of you as well. I just saw 3 cars end up in the fence right in front of you on the second lap, I think that was. But yeah, I think that's what Ash did in race 1, really, because his lap times, I noticed his best lap, he never really drifted more than half a second away from his best lap, so that tells you that he was keeping the tyres in really good shape. Was that something that the team were focusing on purpose, or was it something that was like a bit of a happy accident?
A bit of both, I suppose. It's something that we've always been aware of. I'll admit, I think the best person on the grid for doing that is Wojciech Savidovic. Always has been, always will be. If you watch,
for keeping the tyres.
Yeah, for keeping the tyres. If you watch, he's absolutely fantastic to watch for doing this, because he'll be going 75%, 80% for most of the race, and the last 3, when he's kind of working his way through, or if he's like in a good, like say top 3-4 position, and in the last 3 laps he'll open the taps, and he's got tyres over everyone, and he's just outsmarting everyone. And that's what you've got to do now. If you haven't got the raw pace, which to be fair, Wodge actually has, you've got to use your brain, and because you've got.
Well, you're buggered then, aren't you?
Well, that's just it. I just go off gut instinct, and I don't need no second place. But that's why Wodge has won 2 Pro Series titles, because
well, 3.
3, yeah. Is it won 3? I thought it's 2. He's won.
No, it's 3. Season 6 season.
That was a normal BSR season, and he's won 2 because obviously Job.
And 2 of these, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's it. He's the man with the most titles, and but yeah, you performed really well today, anyway, mate. And it's always good to have you in the commentary box. Give you shout outs, give you thanks.
Just want to say thanks to everyone in CQR and all my friends and whatnot. It's that's been a really good one, that, and more of the same. Hopefully, it puts me in a better state for the AM standings. Especially
Well,
this is a bogey track for me, so
I'm just going to have a little look at that actually, just for your benefit. It looks like you have gone up to third.
Nice. I really wanted that AM win in the second race because McNally might be 1 or 2 ahead of me, and obviously it all tottles up in the showdown points. So I'm trying to think the long game here.
Well, McNally down in 9th at the moment, so yeah, you've got.
And he'll stay in 9th if he keeps moving in the braking zones like he has been.
Oh dear. Save it for the protest form. I'm
not protesting anything.
Thanks, mate, for.
Quick, get him out before I say something else.
Yes, get him out. No, thanks for joining us, mate, and we'll catch you next time.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Always. Now, Marco has found a man who hasn't been here for quite some time, actually, and but I think he wishes he'd probably stayed away this week. Paul Smith is with Marco.
Hello, Paul, and welcome back to the booth.
Hello.
So, how are you feeling about these 3 races tonight? I think they were very, very tough races, especially this last one with bad weather and all.
Let's just say I'm happy that I actually finished that last race because the first 2 races I didn't get past the first lap. So, yeah, that was nice. That was a positive. I like to look at the positive things in life. Yeah, race 1 didn't even make it to the start line because Adam Hadfield decided to drive right into my teammate and pointed him to me. The second race, Nathan Davis decided to hit Michael Hall into me. So 2 accidents of other people hitting people into me. So that was nice. And then that final race, I saw some of the worst driving I've seen for quite a long time in this series, further back there. And I bet you wouldn't have been focusing on it back there. But yeah, a couple of drivers need to have a long look at the mirror of themselves because if they start just hitting people out of the way, and you try and hit me out of the way, I'm just going to block you even more because, quite frankly, it makes me happy that you stay behind me, even if I think
we've just seen you on the stream actually get hit up the rear end and maybe break the suspension actually.
Oh, I'm amazed that final race actually finished because of the amount of times I got hit off by Brewer and Michael Davies and a couple others as well. But yeah, I'm back, first week back, 2 Apex broadcasts that I'm racing in, and I got hit in every one of them.
Well, you will be happy, maybe you already know this, but things are going to be even more interesting next week because there's Belial for you guys in the BSRTC Pro Series.
Oh yeah, because that'll be just clean racing all the way through. I've never raced at Belial, and it's certainly going to be a challenge. I need to do quite a few laps around there, and luckily with there being no World GT on Monday night, I've got to try and get as many laps in as possible. For that,
man, I think that it's going to be. I mean, of course, it will be important to be fast, but even more important than that, in Belial will be having a clean car, and accident avoidance must be turned up to the maximum because I am seriously afraid of a possible roadblock at some point in one of the 3 races. The track is so narrow in some points and so bumpy. Somebody gets on a bump the wrong way, the car gets unsettled, turns into another guy, and next thing you know, you have the whole track basically blocked.
Well, I mean, I need to do as many laps as possible because I don't know which way it goes at the moment. So that's the first challenge, is learning which way it turns. And then it'll just be a case of just...
You're not alone there, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm worried about that.
I just about figured it out after we watched 4 races in the... or 2 or 3 races in the World GTs.
Yeah, it's something that I'm worried about with some others that maybe will just turn up on the day to do practice, whereas I'm going to actually spend time during the week to learn the track.
Thing is, sorry to butt in, but if there's going to be a week where that can really pay off, it might be actually somewhere like that. If if you've done practice, that's probably where 10 or 15 grid places.
Well, you never know, absolutely. But here we go. I'm back in the fray. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Phrase the word, I think.
Well, Thank you very much, Paul, for staying with us. Before we let you go, is there anybody you would like to thank?
Yeah, rest of the Team Mad guys, they're doing really good job, especially Diogo with that second place, that final race, and also Magic for fourth in the second race there. Thank you to Calder Rescue, who we support. They don't support us, we support them. Motorsport Rescue charity organisation, so check them out. And also to Phoenix Racing and a certain Smart Time Productions that do live streaming, but you may have heard of them.
I wonder who that could be.
I don't know. I've heard he's a good-looking guy, though.
Some guy with a Yorkshire accent and plenty of
Opinions?
plenty of people smashing him off the track. I was going to say, but
Yeah.
what was that? Paul, thank you very much, and yeah, we'll catch you around next time.
See you later.
I just wanted Marco to bring in. Oh, I've just dragged Paul Smith in. That's the wrong one. I just wanted to bring in Nico Foggy just for the fact that he's had a pretty solid night tonight. Can you hear me, Nick?
Hi, yeah. What's up?
Oh, here he is. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had you in the commentary box, actually, mate. Welcome. And 2nd, 14th, and 5th. I think that's a good day's work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care where to finish it. Just the racing was so fun tonight. So close the whole time, especially that second race. Second race was crazy. You always get good races, I find, when the track is hot. I don't know if it's because it's slower racing. People can be a bit more, careful, but it's really fun anyway.
And you even had the weather conditions on your side in the final race.
Yeah, I seem to do all right anyway. Maybe it was the weather. Who knows?
How did you find it though? I mean, it looked like we were saying to Rusty. It looked like you could see okay from inside the car. But were there any problems with it or?
Nah, it was fine actually. I use VR, the Rift, so.
It's a good job there wasn't any more fog. Then you'd have been knackered.
Yeah, no, it was fine actually. The fog's okay. I think it's just the longer tracks, the faster tracks that you can be a bit scary with the fog. But Okayama's fine. It's just a lot of hairpins, really.
Yeah, and looked like the car was on point today. Looked like the team was working well, and you've got those V-Racer cars out there now. Is that does that seem to be helping? Have you brought your level up of the practice or anything like that?
Yeah, I think just we've started using like VRS telemetry and stuff to compare our data and stuff like that, which we never did before, and some of that helps as well. And I think we do a little bit more practice than we've been doing, trying to work out any just stuff we haven't done with the setup before, and if there is stuff more you can get out of it, because I think there must be, because we're still finding things here and there depending on the track, depending on how hot the track is as well. And so yeah, it's going pretty well. I think we work well as a team.
Yeah, it does appear so. It looks like you're moving up the field. Seems to bring some new energy to NLR anyway. But let's have a look then at. To click on the right thing. It's terrible, isn't it? So I've got 3 screens now. You see, I'm not used to this. Just look at the championship. You're up to 3rd now, and well, still in 3rd actually. It was so. I take it you're almost locked into that showdown. So. Is it just a case now of just making sure you don't DNF, making sure you're consistent for the rest of the regular season?
I think I'm trying to work on my racecraft a bit. I've still got. I think a lot of the time I'm just too far away from other cars, leaving a bit too much space, which then puts me at a disadvantage. But that's because I don't want to destroy somebody else's race. But yeah, so I think I've got the chance, to at the moment before the showdown to just try and improve my racing and also at least get a few podiums if I can. So maybe push a bit harder than I have been. Not be quite as careful, but still always respectful of other people. I never want to do something dodgy.
Well, just the one win this season, but you do have the 3rd most podiums in the league with 10. So it's definitely positive, and you look like you're moving forward in a good fashion.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I didn't realize I had that many. I've not really checked. I just realized now, since I'm at the near the front, I can try and get some podiums, which is always fun to get.
Oh yeah, it's always good to be up there. Well, hopefully we see you up there again. Give the shout outs, give the thank yous, and then we'll be on our way for the evening.
Alrighty, so I want to thank V Racer, Noble Chairs, Exim, Events House, and also NLR and GT Omega. So yeah, thanks a lot, and then also thanks to you guys in the commentary booth. Do a good job as always.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, we enjoyed that one. It was good, and we hope you did too. And yeah, we'll see you at the next one.
All right, thanks very much.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, Nickel Foggy there. And I do apologise to Stuart McFadden, and the only reason I haven't brought him in is because we'll probably speak to you at some point during the week. We usually do, so that's why I'll just we'll leave you hanging on this occasion. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get you. He's always willing to come up for an interview. That's what I like about Stuart. He always comes up and wants to say hello. So I'm sure in the future, next week or something, we'll grab him. Right, Marco. That was a lot of fun, mate. And again, from Okayama, that's another good meeting. You don't always expect a great meeting when you come here, but you usually end up getting one.
Yeah, and now for these drivers, it's going to be very, very hard to completely shift their mindset and go to a new track for everyone. Like probably they have raced it in other categories, but it's going to be the first time for the BSRTC in a proper street track, I think. So it's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be extremely exciting next week. I can't wait.
Yeah, we've of course had Montreal before, but it's kind of it's more of a permanent track than a street track these days. So, but Belle Isle is a legitimate street track, and it's very legitimate in more than one sense of the word as well. It's very tough out there, and bumpy, it's twisty, it's tight. I'm sure the drivers will find it quite difficult, but that's the beauty of the BSRTC. You've got to adapt to lots of different circuits, and we will see the drivers doing so next week. So from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, my name is Andrew Woodhouse, Marco Barbanera, Sam Kumo. We will see you at the next one here on Apex Racing TV. Good night.